All right, hello YouTube. I am here to review a movie that I saw last night. Um, that I was actually very much looking forward to, and that is Heart Eyes. Now, uh, just so you guys know, this is not a late episode of Torture Tuesdays. This was, if you watched my update, my last channel update that I did. Um, I think it was like a week or two ago, something like that. You know that I mentioned this movie, um, in the update, and this was a movie that I was actually looking forward to seeing. Um, so I am here to give you my thoughts on this movie. Um, I will say that though next Tuesday will be another episode of Torture Tuesdays, so stick around for that. Um, but yes, Heart Eyes. So this movie is from Christopher Landon, who is one of the writers, and he is one of the writers and also one of the producers of the movie. And um, he did the he did both Happy Death Day movies, which are both very, 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 very good. If you haven't seen those, check those out. Very, very good. But yeah, the basic gist of this movie is basically it is a horror movie, but it is um it is very much uh it's very much similar to Scream. It mixes like slasher, campy, like slasher, like like campy horror with humor, and in this case, because it takes place on Valentine's Day, romance. Um, so the basic gist of this movie is you have a serial killer called Heart Eyes, who has been active now for 2 years. And he targets every Valentine's Day. He goes around murdering couples on Valentine's Day, basically. And the movie opens with heart. The movie opens um, with this guy, proposing to his girlfriend, and that is when he's proposing to his girlfriend, and that is when they both get killed. Um, and that is when, and then of course, the movie starts, and we are introduced to Allie, who is our main character. Her character in this movie, in a lot of these horror movies, you either have someone that is either really, really obnoxious, or really, really in a lot of these horror movies, you either have someone, that is either, really, really obnoxious and you just can't stand them, or you have um excuse me, sorry, or you have just a character that you don't, you know or you just have a character that you don't, you don't necessarily hate them, but you don't necessarily like them either, because there's not um because they don't give you enough backstory and in character development to be able to care about, like what happens to the character, and they don't give you enough to be able to care about the character. In this movie, I mean, I guess I could go either way on this. I didn't. Allie's character is, she's neurotic. Um, she's neurotic, but at the same time, um, she's one of those characters that is, um, basically she's had her heart broken. She ended things with her ex. We don't really know why, but she ended things with her ex, um, and she still feels a very um, she still feels a very good amount of regret over it because moved on. He moved on very very quickly with this other girl, and he and she and and Allie spends a lot of her time, um looking at, um his picture, basically wishing that she hadn't, basically wishing, that she hadn't, ended things with him. um Basically, torturing herself. um and so she is, she's neurotic, but um she's also afraid of, falling in love again, because she we learned that Allie's we learned we sort of learned, like, her backstory, I guess you could call it. um her mother had basically the perfect relationship with her father, but her father died, and Allie's mother uh never really moved on from that. She never really, um she never really recovered from that. So so we learned that Allie, and Allie's job is advertising. She advertises basically like romantic, um she you know uh like romantic she helps make, like, romantic advertisements, basically. Um and she meets um he meets or she meets Mason Gooding's character, who I don't remember off the top of my whose name I don't remember off the top of my head, but um anybody who has seen Scream 6 would immediately recognize. Actually, he was in the past two Scream movies. Actually, he was in 5 and 6. um Anybody who has seen those movies would immediately recognize his face, if they saw him. um so he ends up working in the same place that, Allie is, and he ends up um they end up going out to dinner, um to talk about, um to try to get, like, a business deal going, um to try to get, sort of, like, a plan into place. And their chemistry in this movie is undeniable. Literally, like, a blind person could even see, um like, how much chemistry these two have. And um and while there is, a very very strong, attraction there, she is also very very, um guarded around him. He feels it, she feels it, but they are both very guarded, around one another, Allie especially because of all the things that she's been through. And she ends up kissing him, um when she all of a sudden runs into her ex his with his new girlfriend. And she obviously gets Allie obviously gets very, very jealous, because again, she's not completely over him. um and that is what catches the attention of the Heart Eyes Killer. And the movie takes place over the course of one night. So you know so so you have God, I can't remember the kid's name, so I'm just gonna call him by the actor's name, because that's all I remember. So you have Mason's character and Allie, basically um trying to get away from the Heart Eyes Killer. um the Heart Eyes Killer. And this is a couple that, even though technically, they literally just met, and they aren't technically a couple yet, um, but these are very much, two people um, that obviously, that obviously, immediately, when they first laid eyes on one another, something obviously clicked between them. And the chemistry, the chemistry, between these two actors, or, between these two characters, is completely undeniable. Um, this was good. I enjoyed it. I saw the reviews when I saw the trailer. When I first saw the trailer in the theater, I knew that it was going to be something, that I was going to want to see. Um, I knew that it was going to be something, that I'd want to see. And when I saw Christopher Landon's name attached to it, I was like, okay, yeah, I got to see this. Um, because that is one of the things that the Happy Death Day movies do. They mix, comedy with horror. Um, Excuse me, sorry. And um, but yeah, no, it's well acted. The acting is really, really solid. It's shot well. Um, the the cinematography is very, very solid. Um, it's very, very, very gory. This movie, a lot of, I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but but obviously, because it's a horror movie, there's a lot of, like throats being slashed, a lot of, people getting stabbed, and um a lot of, like people getting people getting stabbed, throats getting slashed, um you know people a lot of people getting hacked with knives, and um just very very, very gory. um but no, it's funny too, like I genuinely, like found myself laughing at in certain moments. Like that there is genuinely like some good there's genuinely, like some good humor in this movie. um and it and I feel the tone, and I feel I feel the writers, and the directors, and or I feel the writers, and the director, you know, did just, you know, did just, you know, a really, really good job at mixing, at mixing, you know, the two together, you know, like when, um, because this is one of the things that pisses me off about Marvel these days uh, you know, is, you know, like a lot of the time in those movies, it's like, you know, every time in those movies, you know, especially the recent, you know, MCU movies, you know, every 5 minutes, you know, they'll go, you know, for like an emotional moment, like a serious moment, and then it's undercut with a joke. And in this movie, thankfully, doesn't do that. This movie knows exactly, you know, when, excuse me, sorry. This movie knows exactly when to, this movie knows exactly when, you know, like when to stay serious and when to have a joke, or you know, like when it's, you know, like when the moment, you know, like when a certain moment in the movie, you know, like calls, you know, like for seriousness, it's serious. It's not, you know, you don't have, you know, yes, you know, there is, you know, humor in the movie, but there's not, um, but you don't have, you know, like an out of place joke when the, you know, when the movie is trying to be serious. Um, and that is one of the things that pisses me off about, you know, Marvel, for example, um, in a lot of the stuff that they're doing today. But thankfully, this movie does not do, you know, any of that crap. Yeah, no, this was a fun movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Um, I enjoyed it quite a bit. The horror elements, you know, the horror elements work really, really well. The humor works really, really well. Um, None of it feels, you know, like out of place. None of it feels, um, you know, forced or you know, anything like that. It's a perfect blend of horror and, you know, it's a perfect blend, of horror and comedy. Uh, and I'm gonna recommend this and just say, if you haven't seen it, you know, go see it. It's playing in theaters right now, and Valentine's Day is Friday. So, you know, if you're looking for a good, you know, horror Valentine's Day movie, I would definitely go see this because it is worth your time and you will definitely have fun with it. Um, the movie, for those of you who are wondering, the ending of this movie, I won't spoil. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but I will say that the movie's ending is very, very conclusive. You know, it doesn't set up, a sequel or you know, anything like that. A lot of movies today, obviously, you know, Hollywood thinks, you know, you know, every fucking movie has to be a franchise these days. This movie does not do that. The ending for this movie is very, very conclusive. It is a very, it is very much a one and done, um, ending. Um, but yeah, no, it's a fun movie. It's a, you know, it's a fun, um, you know, it's a fun horror, you know, comedy slasher, you know, type movie. And, um, very, just, you know, very, very well done. Very, 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 very well done. Very, 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 very well put together. Um, the writing is great. The acting is very, very good. Um, and yeah, again, I'm just going to recommend this and just say, if you, you know, if you're looking for a good movie to go see, you know, on Valentine's Day, go see this because it is worth your time. If you enjoy, the Scream movies, you'll like it. If you enjoyed, Eli Roth's, Thanksgiving, you'll like it. Um, if you enjoy if you enjoyed if you enjoy, like the comedic horror slasher type movies, you'll enjoy this. There's a lot to like about this movie. Um, so I'm gonna recommend it and just say go see it because it is worth your time. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you've seen it, what you thought of it. Like, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.